Hello, happy Wednesday night, big NBA day. A little bit easier for us to break down a two-game after-hours slate, though. With me is Luke. How's it going, Luke? Yeah, no kidding. And this is the first NBA show, I believe. I guess if you take away the NBA draft, the fantasy draft, this is the first NBA show. So hopefully one of many. Especially if we take down a tournament tonight, working this after-hours slate, I think we will have plenty of shows if that's the case. Basically what we're going to be doing is breaking down the FanDuel after-hours slate. Consists of only two games. We have the Clippers taking on a depleted Pelicans team. And then we have the Blazers going to Sacramento in a game that's a rematch from just a couple days ago. Some news to look at there, but overall slate information here before we start breaking down the games. Clippers are favored by 10 points at home, game total of 216. In the other game, Blazers are 2.5 point favorites with a game total of 237.5. So if we're going to be favoring one game or the other, it seems pretty obvious. I mean, one game has 20 points more expected, and it's supposed to be competitive. It's just kind of a no-brainer. We have news there later to talk about. We're waiting on some lineup announcements, so we will talk about that game second, though. Luke, I think we are just going to jump into the Clippers game. I'll keep refreshing to figure out if we know the Blazers lineup, but we'll start with the Clippers game. I mean, not a ton of news here. The Pelicans side, before I'll just dish it to you for analysis on it. We have some injuries. We have Lonzo out. We have Eric Bledsoe out. We have Zion Williamson out. So 3 starters out for the Pelicans. A team that was not very good offensively, that doesn't shoot outside shots. I mean, the outside shooting doesn't necessarily take a hit because of this, but overall offensive output is definitely affected. In terms of who's going to start for them, we don't know for sure. I would assume Josh Hart enters the starting lineup. We could see Nickeil Alexander-Walker enter the starting lineup. Maybe JJ Redick if his hamstring's feeling better. I don't know. It's nothing overly to be excited about. And the Clippers side, it's the typical Clippers lineup. So what's your initial feelings about this game?
This game doesn't even seem to be going to be competitive from my point of view.
And you were muted until just that little bit at the end there, so that's my bad. Anybody watching? You can. It was on my end. Luke, you're good now. But if I can't remember where I put you back on, he was talking about maybe Melly could be inserted into the starting lineup, and I think that's a really good call. Call that's kind of going overlooked, I would say, even just looking at other DFS sites in terms of projections. Nobody's overly excited about Melly. He's not a flashy player by any means, but when he gets minutes, he's going to perform. Minimum price at the power forward position for the Pelicans. If you need a salary saver, I think that makes a lot of sense. We'll go over some builds at the end, I think, but I mean, there's a lot of easy spots to pay down on the Pelicans. Like we said, 3,500 for Melly there. Nickeil Alexander-Walker is going to be the chalk pay down option on the slate at the 2 guard, 3,800. Honestly, whenever he gets minutes, it seems like he performs extremely well for fantasy. What's your thoughts on him? Is he, I think, a third-year player at this point now? Second or third?
Second. I think he's a second-year player.
Okay. What's your thoughts on him for DFS here?
Well, I think the Pelicans are a really interesting spot here. Like, other than Brandon Ingram, there's like a lot of options to go for DFS. This is a game where one player is going to come out and show out, and whether you're in a fantasy basketball league, people are going to go rush and get him because he has that one game. And I really think that Alexander Walker, he's a long player. He's a great slasher. He's got great arms. So long arms. He can disrupt. Get a couple steals here and there. I can see him going. Getting a couple dunks inside. Maybe a couple mid-range shots. I could see a 15, 8 and 7 game for him. I could see pretty close to a triple double just because there's not a lot of usage, or not a lot of players who have big usage that are playing today for New Orleans.
And I'm just gonna see if I can find maybe a comparable game. Okay, so going back to last season, it looks like the very final game of the season for the Pelicans down in the bubble. He played 36 minutes. It was a competitive game against Orlando. He finished with 29 points. Looks like 1 rebound, 7 assists. The 1 rebound's a little bit fluky. But to your point,
yeah.
I mean, he can fill up the stat sheet. He's going to shoot a lot when he's in there. He doesn't get many opportunities, so I think he's going to do that. He may see some Paul George defense, and that's fine. I don't think Paul George is going to give him any respect and try too hard against him, to be completely honest. I like him. I think it's a really good spot for him. If I want to call it a core play, I think he kind of is at this point, building it around him. Before we go over to the Clippers side, you did bring up Brandon Ingram. He's been the clear best and most consistent producer on this team for fantasy. Now with Zion out, with Lonzo out, with Bledsoe out, only 2 starters remain. It's him and it's Steven Adams, who, he got a triple-double earlier in the season by some mistake. But Ingram should see a huge usage and do whatever the hell he wants. But at the same time, blowout potential and Kawhi Leonard defense. Is that enough for you to be scared off of him?
I think so. We've just been talking about it, how there's not a lot of, the studs are out for New Orleans. So Brandon Ingram, they're going to have to rely on him. If they want to win this game, they're going to have to rely on him to do a lot. That just screams no efficiency to me. Plus, they have, probably the best defender in the league on him. It doesn't seem like a big Brandon Ingram game to me.
Yeah, me neither. Like to the point that I started it off with, if I'm going to stack one of these games, which I'm going to do, that's kind of the way to take down one of these slates is hope. One game's a blowout, one's competitive, and the lines very clearly show one game to be competitive and one to be a blowout. So I'll find some value spots in this game, but I'll probably avoid the top tier players as much as possible. But to that point, let's go over to the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard, Paul George.
I just said something quick with the Pelicans.
Yeah.
What do you think of Steven Adams tonight at 6,800 in FanDuel? I'm just looking at the stats here. The Clippers shoot, they're top 5 in threes made per game. That means they're probably top 5 in threes shot per game. Mm-hmm. That seems like a lot of rebounds for Steven Adams tonight.
I like Steven Adams a lot. I think he's probably strangely kind of going under the radar. Top price option at 6,800. It doesn't look great. If the game is competitive at all, he's going to have a great game. For sure.
Yeah.
If it's a blowout, I guess why would they keep him in? It seems like Jackson Hayes would be the one to go in then. And, we've seen him pile up stats in a hurry. So I think if you're entering 20 lineups or so in FanDuel, Adams is a really, really good way to get different. Because I can break down the chalk lineup. I think the chalk lineup's super easy. If Nurkic is going to be the center if he's in, everyone's going to be going to him. Holmes is even going a little bit under the radar. He's the same exact price as Nurkic, but that's where the rest of the ownership is. And then there's going to be people getting cute with Cantor, hoping Nurkic doesn't finish the game. That's it. I don't think anybody wants to play Steven Adams, and that's what makes me want to play Steven Adams.
Same here.
Yeah, so I think that's a really good call. Really good call. Moving on to the Clippers, the big two is Kawhi Leonard, Paul George. Do you have a preferred player of the two that you would go to? Obviously, Kawhi is a small forward, 9,200. Paul George, shooting guard at 9K. So maybe position matters a little bit. Pricing essentially the same though. So is there one you prefer over the other?
Yeah, if I'm just like building my lineup, like I don't have anyone picked yet or anything, and I'm choosing between these two to start with, I don't know. I think Paul George, just off the basis that Kawhi Leonard's not known to play a lot of games in the regular season. If this game gets out of hand, it seems a similar situation. Like just talked with Steve Adams, why would Kawhi Leonard play anymore? And Paul George is out on this MVP trail right now. That this seems like a perfect game to stat pad for MVP.
Yeah, completely agreed. And if you are here just looking for news and stuff, just really quick, the Kings did announce their starting lineup. We'll get to that game in a second. Holmes is in, Buddy Hield is in. Both of them will start. But we'll get to that in a second. I completely agree with you. I'd rather have Paul George than Kawhi. Yes, he's on the MVP trip. That's a good thing. I think position-wise, I like him a little bit better. If he's guarding Nickeil Alexander-Walker or whatever, I like that more than the player that's going to be expending energy guarding Brandon Ingram. Just a lot to like about Paul George here. They don't play tomorrow, do they?
Let me look.
Yeah. Check that out while you do. I will talk about the point guard situation for the Clippers here. We have two cheap options. Patrick Beverley at 4K, Lou Williams at 4,400. Patrick Beverley obviously gets the start. I'm not sure if there's anybody I could like less than Lou on the slate. And watch him go off now. But the thing with Lou Williams, if it's a close game and the Clippers are slightly behind, those are the spots where he blows up. If they're up, they don't need the offense, so he's not going to play. And then if it's a blowout, he's really not going to play. That's shown by, I looked this up earlier today. That game against the Mavericks where they lost by like 50 points or something. Kawhi Leonard didn't play, so you would think that they would need Lou Williams even more. He played 9 minutes in that game. So if it's a blowout at all, he's just not going to get run. He's a veteran. They don't need to run him into the ground. And he's not very efficient when both of the stars play anyways. So I really, really dislike Lou Williams here.
Yeah, I totally agree. Clippers are off tomorrow.
Okay. That's good news in terms of we're not going to get Kawhi Leonard's not coming out for the second half or something.
Right.
Do you have any thoughts on the 2 point guards? Patrick Beverley doesn't overly excite me, which is the same thing as any other slate. But at 4K and you need a spend down option, I think he's viable.
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat with you here. Neither one really excites me that much. Patrick Beverley, is not bad to have, I don't think, as your number 2 point guard. For 4,000, that he's going to start. He's going to get starter minutes if this game's not close. Because like you just said, Lou Williams only had 9 minutes when they were down 50 to Dallas. Someone's got to play point guard, and I think Beverley and Lou Williams are the only 2 listed point guards I have. So I would imagine Beverley gets some time this game. Do we know who's running point for New Orleans? Probably Josh Hart, huh?
I don't know. I don't know if it's necessary. I think it'll probably be by committee. I think Ingram will do it a little bit. Hart might do it a little bit.
Yeah.
There's no true point guard.
And I could see if Beverley gets switched on to maybe like a younger player like Alexander Walker or something, can create some chaos, and Beverley can grab a couple steals that way.
Yeah, I think this is a huge potential for steals. We just talked about no true point guard. It's not going to be pretty. And if he racks up 2-3 steals in 20 minutes, he's going to pay off value. Blazers also announced already that Lillard and Nurkic are both in, so there's no headaches there. I was kind of hoping Nurkic would be out, but is what it is. We'll get to that in a second. Big change up from last night. I think it was last night. The Spurs never announced the starting lineup, which was great. That was awesome. I don't know. Is there anything else about the Clippers to really talk about? If the game's competitive, I like Ibaka at 5,600 at power forward. And
yeah,
he's just not exciting otherwise, though. If it's a blowout, he's another veteran that's not going to play big minutes.
Right. What? I'm trying to think of a case in my head why I would want Zubac. I can't really make one. I don't know what your thoughts are on him.
Um, I mean, we need to first of all figure out if he's going to play. He's like the only questionable one.
Right.
If he's in, I like him. But he's not one of those players that gets extended run in a blowout. He's not really a true starter. He kind of floats in and out of the lineup.
Especially with an injury too. I don't know how well he's going to bang down low with Steven Adams too.
Which again, I suppose, to that point, if Zubac isn't in, if he's not 100%, and maybe they play Ibaka at the 5, I mean, I like Steven Adams to get those rebounds.
Right.
But I don't think that opens up value for, I don't know, do they have another center?
Not on. They don't have one listed on FanDuel.
Probably Patrick Patterson would play a little bit of minutes there. But yeah, I mean, he's not viable. Marcus Morris may play a little bit of the 5 as an undersized 5. I don't know. Not excited about that. I'm not excited about. Oh, you know what? Batum's going to play. Maybe
Batum will probably start off the game like his usually does with his corner 3, and then everyone thinks, oh, this is a Batum game, and he ends up with 9 points on, 3 of 12 shooting.
He's been pretty good this year, but
yeah,
this is not a spot for him, I don't think. Man, I
wouldn't think so either.
He's interesting. Box score chasers are gonna play him, I think. Which is good to stay off him, I guess. We will come back to that. Because I think he may be an interesting pivot off another player from a different game. Is there anything else you want to talk about with this game before we break down the second one?
I don't think so. I don't think I'm very excited for this game.
It might be a blowout immediately.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk about Blazers Kings again. They've just played a couple days ago. And this time it's a 3-point spread. A couple days ago, the Blazers won by 26 points on the road. So, could we see a repeat? Maybe, hopefully not. Holmes will be playing in this game. Kings did not have him last time. Let's start on the Kings side. We said earlier, Buddy Hield is in, and Holmes is in. Both will start. Outside of that, it's De'Aaron Fox. At point guard, you have Harrison Barnes at small forward, and then Marvin Bagley at power forward. Again, last game he tried playing the 5 against Nurkic. Didn't work well. Surprise, surprise.
Yeah.
What's your initial thoughts in terms of value on the starting 5 or even on the bench for the Kings?
Just bringing up Marvin Bagley, I don't think he's that good of a basketball player. No. Like that good of an NBA player. He had all this hype around him, just hasn't worked out. He's kind of like we just talked about, not well at the 5. I think he's a little undersized to play the 5, and I don't think he has good enough maybe shooting ability or lateral quickness or whatever it is to play the 4. Against some of the stretch 4s. So I don't think I want to touch Marvin Bagley at all. Not even on matchup, just on, him in general. Buddy Hield, I think, is really interesting because this feels like a game where it's going to be run and gun to me. And I think that suits Buddy Hield. He's not going to sit there and try to come off screens and whatever. I think he wants to hit threes in transition with De'Aaron Fox running down the middle and Buddy Hield retreating into the corner to shoot a 3. So I don't know. That's pretty intriguing to me.
I completely agree with you. And I mean, I can tell you right now, he's going to be underowned for sure. Because he's listed with an ankle injury. Obviously, we already said he's going to start, so that's not an issue. But he hasn't been very good. The rookie, if I'm butchering this name, I'm sorry. But Halliburton, that's the way I've been saying it in my head for the past.
From Oshkosh.
What? Oh, really?
Went to high school in Oshkosh, yeah.
Oh, shit. Maybe I should learn his name. I've been disrespecting him all season. I'm like, I hate this guy because he fucking takes shots from Buddy. But okay, I'll flip it now. Now I like him. Now I'm a Buddy Hield hater. But did he go to Kentucky?
Iowa State.
Shit, that's way off. Okay. Anyways, Buddy's gonna start. The rookie comes off the bench. The rookie has absolutely destroyed the usage and value of both Fox and Heald this year. Everybody knows that, which makes Heald interesting in this game for the same reason you just said. You can attack this Blazers backcourt. They easily. Like, they don't play defense. You can absolutely destroy them.
CJ McCollum may be the worst perimeter defender in the NBA.
He's bad. What did Buddy do last time? Buddy in 26 minutes, 3 of 10 shooting, 8 points. So, I mean, it doesn't overly excite you. They actually had him starting next to Halliburton in that game because they didn't have Holmes. So they moved, they shifted Bagley to the 5, and then they started both of them. So it makes perfect sense why all three of the backcourt had terrible games. They just kind of eat into each other. So assuming they do their typical lineup today, I think there's a lot of value there. From the point guard position in general, we can talk about the entire slate now at this point in terms of just point guard. It's a wasteland. I mean, outside of Damian Lillard to Aaron Fox, if you want to spread down to Patrick Beverley, that's fine. But, Lillard and Fox are so chalky. And if you're playing Fox, in terms of correlation, you don't want to play Halliburton for sure. And you probably don't want to play Heald. So that's if you're going for a perfect lineup, you probably don't. I think there's still value in Heald. But I would rather spend up. We can talk about the Blazers. I'd rather spend up to CJ McCollum or Paul George, who we already talked about.
Right.
CJ McCollum, 9,200, most expensive shooting guard over Paul George. 200 more than Paul George. Obviously, a great matchup against the Kings backcourt. Point guard Damian Lillard, same price. Great matchup against the Kings backcourt. Those two are so negatively correlated. If Lillard goes off, usually McCollum doesn't. And flip-flop. So where my head is at, and Lillard is a lock because of the point guard position, does that make you not want to play McCollum?
I think so. I think if you're going to spend on a point or on a shooting guard, I'd rather have Paul George than CJ McCollum.
Me too.
Because it's kind of the same thing with shooting guards. I mean, there's CJ McCollum, Paul George, and then the rest.
Right. There's at least value shooting guard though.
Right.
We can go down to Alexander Walker, and then the Kings guys are kind of in no man's land in terms of pricing. Because they're too expensive to fit sometimes, and they're not cheap enough to be salary savers. One guy who really interests me, actually, on the slate is Gary Trent, who's minimum 3,500 at shooting guard. If he comes in and the Blazers are down and he has to shoot, I think he's one of those guys that can take over a slate.
100%. I feel like when he comes in the game too, he's shooting.
He has to. Yeah. That's all he's good at.
Yeah.
Minutes last 5 games, 31, 18, 27, 30, 29. There's a lot to like about that.
Yeah.
Points haven't been great. 7, 13, 9, 10, 8. And then he doesn't do much else. So if he's not...
That's the only thing is the points.
Yeah. So if he's not hitting his shots, he's worthless. But... You can certainly shoot against Buddy Hield. I like him a lot. 3,700 is Luke Kennard. If that game turns into a blowout, I think he gets a lot of run for the Clippers. I think that's interesting.
What did speaking of Luke Kennard, I don't know if you have it on you right now, but why did he play 37 minutes against San Antonio?
I think Paul George was out. I can look.
Okay.
Really.
That was on January 5th.
Paul George. Yeah, Paul George is out.
Okay.
So yeah. He's not going to get run unless it's a blowout. But in that same game I talked about before, where Kawhi was out and the Clippers got their ass handed to him by Dallas, Kennard played 29 minutes. I'm sure all in garbage time. He didn't play well, but it was still 29 minutes.
Yeah, 29 minutes. You're gonna get something.
You would think, yeah.
Unless you're Tony Snell running out there and stat line, what was it? Like 20 minutes, 0 points, 0 rebounds, 0 assists, 0 steals, 0 blocks.
Yeah, I do. Hey, don't negatively impact your team and you're fine. Just
right.
Yeah. Stay out of Giannis's way. I hate that guy. He sucks. Zubac is playing, it says, for the center position. That's not overly exciting, but
Yeah.
he'll get run against Adams. He has to.
Yeah. I'm trying to build a lineup here, and where my head's at, I have no idea what I want to do at small forward, because like we said before, I think I like Paul George more than Kawhi Leonard, and we talked about I don't know if I want Brandon Ingram or not, and then let's stumped on the rest here.
Let's talk about the two centers in that second game first,
Okay.
and then we'll go to small forwards here. So the two centers, Nurkic is going to be the chalk center of the day. Last time against them, which everyone's going to look at, I think kind of wrongfully so. He had, in 23 minutes, he put up 37 FanDuel points. We talked about before, that was against Marvin Bagley. So I'll back Marvin Bagley down. It's going to be pretty easy. I think he has a harder time today. I think he still plays well, but all the exposure is going to be onto him. So I think that's even more reason to get off him for Adams and Holmes and tournaments. Rashawn Holmes is a stud.
Yeah.
Really kind of underrated. Played 2 days ago, put up 50 FanDuel points, 16-10 double-double with 6 blocks. I'm not going to assume he gets 6 blocks again, but at 6,400 he can pay off at, 32 points is what he pays off at?
Right.
He can hit that. I'm not overly afraid of Nurkic, and if Nurkic gets into foul trouble and he gets to go up against Enes Kanter, then that's easy money.
Right. I like Rashawn Holmes a lot. It just seems like he's like a walking double-double to me. He'll get you your 10 points, 10 rebounds a game, plus anything extra. And just like you said, Nurkic seems to get in foul trouble from the games that I've watched this year. And Enes Kanter, I think, is not very good at basketball either. So I could see Rashawn Holmes having a big game tonight, too.
100%. And he's the exact same price as Nurkic. So that's a super easy pivot. If you're entering multiple lineups, get off of Nurkic, play some Holmes. If you think Nurkic is going to get in foul trouble, I mean, Kanter's an easy switch for 1,100 less. He got a lot of run a couple days ago because Nurkic did. Well, he only got 15 minutes, I guess. He's just been really good in a per-minute basis. 24 points in 15 minutes, 28 points in 19, 30 points in 13, talking FanDuel points. He's really good. He's just an offensive player. He doesn't do anything defensively. But if you think Nurkic could get into foul trouble, if you think his quad injury could knock him out for the game, Kanter makes a lot of sense. On the flip side, I guess, same thing with Holmes. Hassan Whiteside revenge game, I guess, if you want to go that route. He's only 4,200, so he's another good per-minute guy. That's fine. And then Zubac at 4K, who I'm not excited about. But
no.
I mean, he could have an extremely unexciting game and get 20 points. So.
Yeah, I think all the centers we just talked about, I think I still like Steven Adams more than all of them, maybe except for Rashawn Holmes. But Rashawn Holmes is, another $400 cheaper.
Yeah. I'm kind of just taking the center position in terms of I'm going to build the rest of my team, and then if I have 6,800 or 400, I'm totally cool with.
Yeah.
But let's talk about small forward. One, two top price guys, Kawhi and Brandon Ingram. There's a middle price at Harrison Barnes. Good God, I saw purple and I went to Vikings. I think my internet just dropped for a second. I'm good now. Hopefully everyone's still here. Harrison Barnes is at 6,800. He's been kind of sneaky solid this year. 45 in the last game. 23, 37, 27, 33, 30, 40, 30. So he's pretty consistent. He is going to be going up against Jones Jr., who's a pretty good defender, one of the few on the team. So I don't necessarily love him. I think what I'm probably going to do, first off, I'm going to plug in Josh Hart. I think he's a lock for me at 4,400.
Yep.
Good rebounder. He's going to have to score today. He should pay off pretty easily. I don't want to play Kawhi. I think I'm going to put in Brandon Ingram more times than not. I think they have to run through him initially. And maybe Van Gundy keeps him in there a little bit too long. That's kind of where I'm hoping. What's your thoughts on small forward?
Yeah, like I said, I'm kind of confused on it. I like the Brandon Ingram, he's going to have to score if they want to be close because he's the only scorer on the team right now. I'm really tempted to take Carmelo Anthony because, like I said before, this seems like a run and gun game, and who in NBA history has made a living more off a run and gun than Carmelo Anthony? Get shots up and don't play defense.
Why did he play more last game? Do you know? I'm bringing up.
I do not.
Where is?
Because Derek Jones did play too.
Yeah, I'm looking at the game flow right now. So I don't know. He just played a lot. There's nothing like specific.
I know. I was watching the game because I have him in our Flurry Sports basketball league. He was playing well. I don't know if they just kept him in because he was playing so well.
It looks like it. He came in for McCollum the first switch. Played through midway through the second quarter. They gave him just a couple minute break and they let him finish out the first half. I'm wrong. No, he didn't finish off the first half. He played almost all the way through. So he came in at 6:24 left in the first and left at 2:34 left at the second. So he pretty much played the entire first half. And why did they do this? He came in with 7:25 left in the third quarter and played the rest of the game.
It's a lot of minutes for a vet.
Yeah, a lot. They must have played because Nurkic went out, right?
Yep. What about Covington? What did he do? Was Covington in foul trouble?
No, Covington played the entire third quarter and almost all the fourth. They played Carmelo at the 5.
So they went small.
And that was against Toronto. So I'm guessing it looks like they went Siakam at the 5. Or Boucher. He's also small.
Yeah.
So they can get away with that. I don't think they can get away with that against the Kings.
No. Okay. Yeah, I don't think so either. Because Rashawn Holmes would just eat them alive.
Right. Holmes or Whiteside or whoever.
Right.
Okay, so it looks like Pelicans starting lineup. They're going to start Alexander Walker at the point. Sandarius Thornwell at 2. Josh Hart at 3. Ingram, and then Steven Adams. So I'll start by saying I don't want anything to do with Thornwell.
No.
Nikhil Alexander Walker. This is what I'll say about him. I've seen this story before. I've lived it. This guy's going to get in foul trouble immediately. I know he is. And I still want to play him because he's an obvious play. Obvious play, super good per minute guy. Just don't have 100% exposure to him because the motherfucker's going to go out immediately. And at like 80% ownership, he's going to screw everybody. I promise you.
And that's where Thornwell comes into play. No?
I don't, because Thornwell can't handle the ball.
Right.
I don't know what they do. After that, I don't know. I guess Ingram. It's still going to be Ingram and Hart handling the point. JJ Redick isn't going to handle the point. He's an off-ball guy. I don't think Thornwell can handle the ball.
No. Not what he did well, and he wasn't that well at handling the point in college.
Man, if the Clippers, if this game is competitive at all, Clippers should feel bad.
Yeah,
really bad. But with that starting five, it's very obvious who's going to have the most usage, right? Ingram could push for 40% usage. Alexander Walker, I hope to God he doesn't handle the ball the whole time because he's going to get in foul trouble, but it is what it is. Hopefully he guards Patrick Beverly. That would be nice.
yeah.
Just stand out there next to him on the three-point line, and that's about it. Man, I'm so scared about that play. But yeah, that's how I'm going to handle that. I think I have to play him at 2 and then pay up for Paul George or McCollum.
Yeah, I think I like George more than McCollum just because I like Lillard for my point.
I fully do. What I am going to be doing with this slate, I'm running 3 different lineups.
Mm-hmm.
Lillard's such an obvious play, so for one of them, I'm going to have no Lillard. I'm going to pay down for Beverly and then play McCollum in that one.
Okay.
So I already have this built. I was kind of building it as we talk. If for that lineup, which is a little bit different, I don't like it. I may want to change this actually. The
great thing in DFS, right?
Yeah, the way I had it was I had Fox and Beverly at point, McCollum and George at the 2, Kawhi and Hart at the 3, Ibaka and Bagley, and then Cantor at the 5. That was kind of my lineup, hoping that game stayed competitive. Like for some reason, Alexander Walker gets into foul trouble and something happens where that game stays competitive. That's why I have George and Kawhi in there. Because obviously all the exposure is going to be in that second game. But I want to find a way to get to Adams in that lineup. That's what I'm going to try to do.
I think I really like Steven Adams now that I'm thinking about it.
By the way, we didn't bring him up. Robert Covington is going to be a super popular play today, as he continues to be, and every DFS site continues to project him really high. I don't like him. I like him as a player. I don't like him for DFS at all.
Yeah.
He doesn't. He's scored in double digits one time this season.
Right. I'm trying to, he makes his money on defense.
Yeah.
So, who's he going to be matched up with? Harrison Barnes?
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple of turnovers that can happen there, but I don't think it's anything.
He'll be matched up with Bagley, right?
Oh, yeah. I just talked about how bad Marvin Bagley is, but I could see him winning that matchup with Robert Covington just by size alone.
Yeah. I think he'll get some open threes if Bagley's covering him. But not a lot. He's going to be mostly stand at the perimeter, so it takes a big guy out from the paint, and then Lillard's going to drive in. That's going to be the offense.
Right.
I need to have exposure to Adams. I didn't have any exposure to him. How the hell are we going to do this? I'm fine with going down from Bagley. So let's get rid of Bagley. Not think twice about it. And then if I plug in Steven Adams, then I have to spend 4,200 a power forward or 4,500. Boy, that's ugly. I really don't like that. I don't know what to do. One play that could be interesting, and it wouldn't work for this though. I was going to say if you went from Fox down to Corey Joseph, thinking maybe Fox got into foul trouble. But I already have Fox in the lineup.
What? Yeah.
I could go down from Josh Hart to Derek Jones.
That wouldn't be a terrible option.
No.
Derek Jones long. He's fast. He's going to get slash. He's going to get some dunks. He's going to get some steals. He's a capable shooter too.
I might do that. Just so I can get up to Adams in this lineup. Let's try her out. Who cares?
It's only money.
Yeah, right. Whatever. Wait, what was I doing? That's not. Yeah. Never mind. We're good. Wait, no. What was I thinking? That's not what I need to do at all. I can't do that. Because I have Ingram in there. I'm so confused what this lineup was.
So the Pelicans starting lineup again is Adams, Walker, Thornwell, Ingram, and who is it for? Hart. Does that?
It's Alexander Walker, Thornwell, Hart, Ingram, Adams.
Okay. So yeah, okay.
Here's the thing. We've seen Adams be a capable passer this year, so I think he could get quite a bit of assists down the post. I don't think he's going to be scoring much. I just don't think there's anybody to set him up. Actually, let me do this really quick. Let's see if there's correlation between Lonzo and him. That'd make me feel better about not playing him. Yeah. So Lonzo has the most correlation with Zion, obviously. It's just going to be alley-oops to him. And then Steven Adams is the second most. And that's because Lonzo sets both of them up. So, he doesn't have negative correlation, I guess. But yeah, maybe I will get off Adams. I just like all the centers, I think. Because I like Adams, Nurkic makes sense. I like Holmes, I like Cantor. Even Whiteside, I love me a good revenge game. He put up 30 against him last game. Okay, I'm not going to edit my lineup. That's a mistake. I know it is. We're not going to do that.
It's like change your fantasy football lineup 5 minutes before the game starts and then getting fucked over because the guy took out his 2-3 long touchdowns.
Yeah. Also, when I was building that, I would have had to play Covington at power forward, and I'm not doing that. No. That would have meant I had him in every single lineup because I have him in the other two. After I just said how much I hate him.
I'm torn here on. I don't know.
This is going to be the chalk lineup, probably. Lillard, Fox, George, Alexander, Ingram, Hart, Bagley, Covington, Nurkic.
Yes. So, I know we kind of talked about it a little bit, but now that I think with Covington playing the 4, does that make you want to go for Marvin Bagley at all?
Not really. I think he could get rebounds, but like we said, we don't love his outside shot.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to go down low on Covington. I don't think they would do that.
Right.
I think they should, but I don't think they would. Last game against him at the 5, like we said, you played against Nurkic. You went for 15-8. That's not impressive. 5,700. He's just overpriced.
Right.
Would you rather play Marvin Bagley or Serge Ibaka, though?
I don't know. I'm kind of leaning to Marvin Bagley here. I don't know why. After we just shit on him, I'm kind of leaning towards Marvin Bagley.
I mean, that's what I'm doing in all my lineups right now. But I'm taking him out of one. I can't go 100% on Bagley.
Right.
And actually, if I take out Bagley, I can move Nurkic up to Adams. Or I can move Covington up to Batum.
What was that first one? I'm sorry.
I can move Nurkic up to Adams, or I can move Covington up to Batum.
Yeah, I think I like
Or
Adams more than.
Yeah. I do not trust Nurkic, man. I feel like I need to get off him. That's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. That's what I'm gonna
do. Would you consider going Damian Lillard and De'Aaron Fox? I know we just talked about the chalk lineup, but
yeah, that's what I have for this lineup. I think that's gonna be chalk. That's what almost everyone's gonna do for good reason. Fox should be able to attack Lillard. Lillard's definitely able to attack Fox.
Yep.
It makes sense. And Fox is actually at 7,300. That's really doable.
Right.
It'll be interesting to see how many people go McCollum and Lillard, though.
Yeah, I think if you could choose between them, Lillard and McCollum.
In a vacuum, I think McCollum probably has the better game, but I'm gonna go Lillard just because of position.
Right.
Because I know one's gonna go off and the other's gonna be undervalued probably.
Yeah.
And if you're talking, I have to go down from Lillard, and the next best option is Lou Williams or Patrick Beverly. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah. All right, that made my decision for me.
Yeah. 14 minutes left. Let's see who gets ruled out last second.
I hate these. I hate and I love these late night slates because I always end up with so much money that I've left that I feel like I have to spend.
Yeah. I know.
Because there's only a couple games going on, you know.
These are the slates I love. This is where I went all my tournaments are on small NBA slates. Won a couple already. Going for another here today. JJ Redick and Lou Williams both real active. I don't think that's a surprise. JJ Redick's another one of those guys where I think he could break down the slate. But at the same time, I don't think there's anybody that can set him up off the dribble.
So this is where FanDuel really fucks you too, because they only let you get 4 of player from one team.
Yeah. I didn't even think about that. But yeah, if you're stacking a game, you have to stack Blazers. Oh, sorry. I got some shit. I'm sorry, buddy. Sorry, Manny7423. Season-long fantasy question here. Should I trade Dylan Brooks and Herter for Jamal Williams? Or, oh my God. Packers on the brain. I was looking at some Packers stuff. Okay. Should I trade Dylan Brooks and Herter for Jamal Murray and Fox or Zion? I mean, obviously, it depends on position need, but I would prefer to have Zion over Fox, if that's your question. Or are you asking, probably one of the three. Tell me if I'm wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong, Manny. But if it's Brooks and Herter for one of Murray, Fox, or Zion, I think I would still want Zion.
Yeah, me too. I don't think there's a doubt in my mind. I'd rather have Zion.
Yeah. The other two are both inconsistent guards that have their value kind of eaten up by players around them right now. Zion, I don't think he's really an injury risk. I know he's out tonight for COVID, which means he may be out up to a week, I guess, which sucks. But at the same time, Murray's always banged up. Fox is not the same player at this point.
Right. I think I don't think Zion should scare you away that he's going to be out for a week because I think that's a great season-long investment.
Yeah, he's a double-double every night. I like him a lot. Let's see here. 12 minutes.
I better get some lineups in, huh?
Yeah, better.
Oh, boy.
How Which money do I go with? 300. I need to send out lineups here. Almost forgot to send out lineups.
All right, so Fox, George, Alexander Walker, Ingram.
If you're in the chat, ask any other questions you want as well. Season long, DFS, NFL stuff. We got you. I just need to sign up or send out a couple lineups to customers. So we can all win money together here.
Okay, I'm in. I'm. This is who I'm rolling with.
Okay.
Oh. Oops.
What do you
Sorry.
got?
I gotta find it. Oh, there we go. I got Lillard and Fox at point, Paul George and Alexander Walker, Ingram, Carmelo Anthony, Marvin Bagley, Nico Melli, and Steven Adams.
I fucking forgot about Melli. Oh, shit. I like it.
But we were talking before of how this is a nice spot for Nico Melli because he's going to start and he's the minimum.
He's not.
I don't
starting,
necessarily.
though.
Oh, I thought he was.
No, remember he's not
Oh,
starting.
oh shit! Yeah. Okay.
He still has to play minutes though.
Right.
Yeah, so he's playing behind. They're starting Ingram at 4. They're going small.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah.
Does Marcus Morris interest you at all?
Not really. No, not really. If the game's competitive, then the best he is going to be playing at the 4. And if the game's a blowout, he's not going to play.
Yeah.
So I don't think I need him.
Yeah. I'm just trying to look for a spot for Melli here, but my only other options are Robert Covington, Morris, Jabari Parker, and I don't think I want to touch Jabari Parker.
Definitely don't touch Parker. I mean,
so
Covington's guaranteed points.
Right.
He's just not going to smash.
I'll do Covington because I was under the impression that Melli was going to start, and I know we talked about it, and I just didn't get in my brain.
Yeah, I guess the other spot you could go to, he's so inconsistent in terms of minutes, is Bjelica.
Yeah,
I like him a lot. He's just, you can't predict his minutes. Last 3 games are 9, 11, and 0. So obviously, there's no stability there. If he was playing in the teens, I'd give him a look, but don't need to do that.
Of course, I had a lineup today. I was at work during the James Harden trade, so I couldn't change my lineup. And then I fell asleep when I got home when they ruled Eric Bledsoe out. So I have Eric Bledsoe and Karis LeVert in my lineup right now, and I'm gonna get fucked on that.
How my lineup's looking early. I have one that could do well. Looks like the Lakers blew at the Thunder. That kind of screwed me a little bit. It's expected, but I was hoping for the opposite. And Durant didn't do great.
Nope.
Come on, man. In a close game, too. And Tyus Jones in a fucking revenge game didn't blow up? Come on, man.
That's what you get for having faith in Duke players.
Oh, man. I just figured he saw red going back to Minnesota. Born and raised. Did, I'm guessing Melton played well then? Let's see.
I was watching the game a little bit. I don't know how he's playing. He's playing a couple minutes, good amount of minutes.
Not great. 11-4 off the bench in 21 minutes. Oh, there's a lot of game left.
Yeah, they got like 8 minutes left or something.
Oh. I was looking at like the Nets time for that game. So Tyus Jones could finish off with 20 in the fourth quarter. There's time. What's your thoughts on Julius Randle? He went off again today. 30 points,
Stud.
5 rebounds, 7 assists, 7 rebounds. He's been good.
I think he's now what the Lakers thought. I think that he's going to be when they draft him, like right away.
Yeah.
And I've always been a Julius Randle guy. I wanted the Bucks to draft him instead of Jabari Parker, which obviously didn't work out. But yeah, I mean, he's a solid player. He's a very complete player. I'd say he can score, he can rebound. He's got better passing than when he came into the league.
Could you imagine if the Lakers now? I mean, they got AD now, but even if LeBron went there and they still had D'Angelo Russell and Julius Randle
and Brook Lopez.
And dude, championship.
And Lou Williams.
Oh yeah. I mean, LeBron would at least have shooters around him. That's all he's ever wanted.
Right. Just not to switch sports here, but just to switch sports real quick. Going to the NFL this week. I know we got a lot of time till NFL. If you could stack a quarterback receiver this week, what do you like?
Ooh. Okay. So thinking about the games. Let me look at the games just so I can visualize it better. Okay. I definitely don't want whoever's starting for the Rams. Definitely don't want anybody in that game. I mean, it's going to be obvious, but without taking pricing into consideration, because I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
It's Tyreek and
Mahomes.
Yeah.
Would you rather have Tyreek and Mahomes over Kelsey Mahomes? Or would you rather have all three of them?
I'd rather have all three, but I would assume they jack up Kelsey's price on a small slate.
Let me check here. Kelsey is 8,500
on which
on FanDuel.
Yeah. What's the next?
And and the next tight end is Mark Andrews at 66.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want Andrews, but that's crazy. It's a way to get different if you want to pay up for him.
Right.
Yeah,
but then you're gonna get absolute shit at your receivers then.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I think you could target maybe a Rashard Higgins in that game, depending on his pricing to run it back with a Browns player.
Yeah.
It's tough to play that Buccaneers Saints game. I do like Antonio Brown there, but I don't need to go heavy.
Well, yeah, Marshawn Lattimore will lock up Mike Evans like he always does.
Right. Yeah. You want nothing to do with Evans this week.
Yep.
Rams, I don't want anybody. Not really, at least. Packers, I don't want a secondary receiver. I'm okay with playing Tunyon.
Would you play Tanyan over Austin Hooper at 5,500 for Hooper, 6,200 for Tanyan?
I'd rather pay for Tunyon. I need to watch more Chiefs defensive tape. I don't think Tyrann Mathieu would cover the tight end, but if he does, that makes me like obviously Hooper even less.
Yeah.
I think they're just going to let him low it, but we'll see.
Probably. Yeah.
In terms of tight ends this week, I don't want to I think if I do, it's going to be Brait. I don't want Hooper. Kelsey's nice, but he's overpriced. Mark Andrews is okay in the fact that it's going to be a snow game, and Ravens should be able to run on the Bills. So if they get down there in the red zone, I think Andrews could catch a red zone touchdown.
That reasoning makes me like Des Bryant a little bit.
Yeah. They have been using him in the red zone actually.
Mm-hmm. That is okay. So that's gonna be a snow game. So I should take. Okay. Sorry, I know we just totally shifted to a different sport here, but
most likely. I think there was like a projected couple inches during the game or something.
yeah.
Lamar
That
Jackson
makes me
never
not.
played in the snow apparently before.
Yeah, that makes me not like Marquise Brown at all.
No, I don't need to play him. It'll be interesting. This slate.
Yeah.
I don't want to play Alvin Kamara. I think that's a huge trap.
Okay.
But
I think I like Aaron Jones in this spot. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah. I don't think it's a good spot for Jamal Williams. He's great receiving back, even though he is kind of a bruiser at times too. But I think the athleticism of the Rams can cover him on routes where a lot of linebackers can't usually. So that makes me
The Rams
like him.
Yeah, the Rams are fast, man. Like the whole team is just fast.
Yeah. Like I said,
I think it's that LA turf they play on.
I think so. Like I said, immediately I think maybe Sunday. I wanted the Packers to run A.J. Dillon directly at Aaron Donald for his play.
Yeah.
Don't block Donald. Just separate. Let A.J. Dillon run his ass over. Hopefully break a couple ribs. I hope he T's and P's in the offseason, heal up, but let's knock his ass out. Because if they don't have Aaron Donald in there, game over.
Oh, that'd be huge if Aaron Donald didn't play, huh?
Yeah, it'd be nice. It would be real nice. Okay, slate's locked. Let's look at ownership here. See where we messed up. Okay. Fox is 85% owned. Lillard 67% owned. It's not surprising. Beverly 32% owned. That's higher than I thought.
Yeah. What is I'm curious on Kawhi Leonard.
60. That's pretty
okay,
high.
because Paul George is okay. All right. I imagine that's gonna be much more than Paul George. Maybe not much more, but
55 for Paul George. I'm in a fairly small tournament, by the way.
Yeah.
So it's a little skewed. Looking at center, Enes Kanter 19.7, Steven Adams 28.5, and what? Nurkic 21. That's really surprising.
I bet a lot of people set their lineups before.
I guess.
Yeah.
So
and that's why
we got
Kanter.
I need to see what Holmes said then. Holmes at 28.5 as well, same as Adams. Huh. It's pretty balanced. It's kind of scary. Batum's got 33%. That's higher than I thought. Barnes looks like the sneaky play. He's at 13.6. Nikhil, Alexander Walker, 52. Ingram, 60. Hart, 55.
I have mine I got going here. I got Carmelo at 8%, and I got him in my lineup.
I mean, we know he can just go off. Trying to see if there's any other random plays people have. Halliburton's only 16. That's kind of scary. Who else? Melly 3.8.
Okay.
That's he's going off.
3.8 like that.
3.8 he's gonna destroy.
Yep, like that.
Shit. Damn it. Otherwise, I haven't seen Reddick here. He'd be the only other one I'm afraid of because I know he's going to be underweight. If Nurkic was underweight, he's going to be super underweight. I can't find them. I see Carmelo in my tournament at 5.8.
Like that.
If I win the top prize, I guarantee I'm splitting it with like 10 people.
Right.
Okay. Well, I think we can start doing these slate breakdowns for like later, smaller slates a little bit more often. I'm sure Trevor will hop on here one of these days too with us. We have another DFS member on our team that hasn't done anything yet, but I believe tomorrow morning on the YouTube channel he's going to be doing like a slate breakdown for us. So keep your eyes open for that, the Flurry Sports YouTube channel. I'll probably post it on flurrysports.org as well. Definitely check that out. Luke, any closing thoughts here?
No, you guys are basketball fans. Been writing a lot of, got a bunch of college basketball stuff coming. Check that out.
Definitely. He just wrote up a mid-major one that's definitely a good read. Mid-majors to watch, especially when tournament time comes. You need to be hunting Cinderellas early. Definitely check that out. A lot of NFL stuff coming pretty soon for this weekend, but we got NBA stuff ramping up, college basketball stuff ramping up. Definitely go check out flurrysports.org. Good place to be right now. But we will see you soon. I can't say tomorrow at this point anymore, but we'll see you soon. Later.
Have a good one.